Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory, like the Tucson, the Sonata, and the Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai.
Guys done yelling at Don. Poor guy.
I just feel bad. Like, I really do think it's funny when people think sports radio's job is to sell tickets. It's like, first of all, it's the NFL. They're selling tickets.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't like.
and the second is, you don't even know where the games are broadcast. I always find that, but people really don't. Like
the flagship.
Like, what?
You know,
when have we ever offered tickets?
For Dolphins games?
For Dolphins games, like
Yeah,
never.
never.
I've never remember having
hey,
Dolphins tickets.
so here's
I got Heat tickets though.
Oh, we got 4.
Because I just want to say it's the greatest organization ever.
You go, boy.
And they can do nothing wrong in my eyes.
That's right.
Okay.
And Bam is the best. And Tyler's the best. And Jimmy's not
Sometimes.
going anywhere.
Mm.
And Pat Riley's a genius. And
Sometimes you
Khalil
yell
Ware
at
just
that
needs
with them.
time to grow. And Kevin Love has veteran savvy.
to be 7'5".
Dude, I see these slams that he has in Sioux Falls, and I'm like, I want that. He goes so high over the
I
rim.
know he's an
And I'm
athletic
like,
7-footer.
We got to play him against the Magic. Kevin Love, let me just say, just for concern of Kevin Love,
Yeah.
he can't play against them.
Maybe we send Bam to Sioux Falls.
Why don't you go to hell? How about
Okay,
that? How about I
just-
send you to Hell Falls? How about that?
All right.
Say, he said, on my way to hell, I'm gonna drop Bam off in Sioux Falls.
I'll get one more call. Christian, what's going on, dude? Is that
What's
a
that,
parrot?
baby?
Is that a baby or a parrot?
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
hey, buddy.
Hi.
How's it going?
Yeah.
Better now.
Yeah, I'm just watching my baby girl right now.
Oh,
That's
good, good papa. All right.
Yeah,
What's
good.
going on, buddy?
Not much. First of all, I think the worst my mistake was that we stopped biting kneecaps.
Oh,
That's right.
It wasn't the
We
last
got
5
rid
years, but he's
of
right.
Dan the Man Campbell.
Yeah, but you know what?
Longer than 5
Here's-
years ago, but I
here's-
understand.
I
I'll
know,
allow
I
it. I'll
just-
allow
No,
it.
but
I allow it.
when he started doing that and talking like that,
Mhm.
nobody took him serious.
The first 2 weeks we did.
Right, but you know what I'm saying.
The first 2
Like
weeks. we did.
nobody thought. But-
Super Bowl.
But here's the other thing: is that you do realize if we had stayed with Dan Campbell
Mhm.
and went through the same process he went through in Detroit, you would have already ran him out of town here. Yes,
I don't know.
Yes.
I mean, like he's been because it kind of crosses over to the Flores era too, so it's a little bit weird.
But it,
You know,
it
like
took. They have a winning record last year. Yes, they had a winning record last year.
Who, the Lions? They
Yeah,
went to the NFC
They were in the
Championship.
championship.
The
So
year they
it's-
turned it around was McDaniel's first year.
Here,
They were
right.
the Dolphins beat them in Detroit, and they were kind of like they had a bad year and year, great year, great year.
Right.
So you're talking year 3
3
of the
years.
process.
Year 3. All right. You
I
think
don't know.
like, but we just like I don't know if the fan base will ever be that patient to go through something like that. Right? I don't know that.
The weird thing about it is, it feels like when the Dolphins have hired coaches, first of all, they hire first year coaches. That's Stephen Ross's thing. He doesn't hire guys with experience.
Right.
They always start off like their first year is always their best year.
Right. Which is
That's
crazy,
the
right?
weird thing about it.
Which does that mean you probably shouldn't have got rid of the guy beforehand?
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
You shouldn't have got rid of
I
the
mean,
last guy?
except for Flores. Obviously, Flores, had
Right.
the terrible year. I mean, those first 2 weeks of Flores, we're talking about, is this the worst team we've ever seen? And then they were good the next year. They were better. So Flores kind of had the growth.
And I think
That's typically how you're
that's
supposed to do it.
right. That's the process. But like we all have to kind of be patient with it to some level, right?
Mhm.
Because like it doesn't just. Are we being unrealistic with what we expect these coaches to come in and do right away?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
All right.
Probably. I would agree with that.
Because I could say that, like, let's be clear. If you don't want Mike McDaniel here and you want somebody else, you're already committing yourself to a 2-year turnaround where they switch from the offense and the defense that they have to a more physical offense and defensive line where they try to build the front seven on
I can
either
tell you a
side.
guy I was a spoiled brat with, and I was a bastard with.
Who?
Paul Maurice.
Oh yeah, you.
I was a bastard with him.
Oh,
I was a stupid boy, and I
Mhm.
thought that this guy's a bum. He has the most losses in NHL history,
Mhm.
and I can't believe we hired this guy. We should have just kept the guy who got the DUI in the cart. And
First of all, dude, how can you wait? Can I just say this? This is not, and I'm not taking driving under the influence lightly.
well, it was dismissed.
How serious can you take somebody driving drunk in a golf
It
cart?
didn't happen yet because he said he used to coach the Panthers. So at the time, I didn't know that he was a willy-nilly golf cart driver. And then second of all,
Have you been to a golf? Have you been to a golf course when there's a tournament and free liquor on the golf course?
wow, dangerous. But I didn't realize, and now the Panthers have the toughest team in the league. Like they are kneecaps. They are essentially hockey biting your kneecaps.
the
Nobody
prob-
can play them
but-
with their head straight.
But you did the same thing I have questions about, right? And I said it to you then. Hey, won't you be a little more patient? He's got to turn everything around from how he wants it from the way it was. He went from being Mike McDaniel to Dan Campbell.
Yeah. Or he was trying to change Mike McDaniel. He was trying to get the McDaniel out of us.
Right. And you called him a bum.
It's strong. I didn't call him a bum. And I said I was sorry to him, and I love him.
Okay. That's
You know,
fine.
sometimes I
That's
do go
fine,
over the
but
rails, just
my-
like with Carter
my
Verhaeghe.
overall point is this. Should we be more patient with this after seeing something like what Paul Maurice has done?
I mean, I think the thing that concerns you with the Dolphins is with Mike McDaniel, it kind of just feels like it's getting more rickety, doesn't it?
But here's what I'll tell you the problem is with Mike McDaniel. And the problem with the Dolphins is right now. Throughout the history of football, right? When you look at all the successful teams, I don't care how many points they score, I don't care whatever. If you look at success, it all starts with the offensive and defensive line. And they tried to do it and be the anomaly. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. What did I say?
I anticipated this question.
That doesn't help.
But you see what I mean? So you are building a football team to be an anomaly. And what all these other teams are proving to you in the Philadelphia teams, in the Detroit teams, in the Green Bay, and Baltimore, and all these teams are showing you is that, yeah, you can have the flash at quarterback and you can have the stars on the outside, but it's built in the trenches. And all those teams have been able to be consistent while working on all that other stuff.
Mhm.
The Dolphins cannot do that. They have to be excellent all the time because you don't have the time or the protection
The thing that's,
to wait it out.
the thing that's crazy though is you've always said offensive lines take a little bit on chemistry. So the thing is, like, how long is this going to? Like, let's just say everybody stays. Let's say everybody stays here, right?
No, but
How long for the Dolphins to turn that line around? Because you're talking about Jackson will be back, Paul will be your left tackle most likely.
Mhm.
Going to keep the center Ambrose. So, like, if you're going to infiltrate two new guards, do we feel like this is something that could get fixed in a year?
Here's the
And
problem.
be for real?
Here's the problem. How many different offensive line combinations they've had in the last 2 years? So before we even go to any of these places, you need healthy guys.
Mhm.
You need healthy
Well, I'm
guys.
assuming Armstead's done.
And it's not a knock on his talent,
Mhm.
but at some point you got to move on just so you can get some consistency.
Yeah, he's got to retire this year, dude.
Look at how many different centers, how many different guards, how many different tackles you've had in this front offensive line. I said to you, continuity is the most important thing,
Mhm.
not necessarily the talent of each individual.
Yeah, but they got to get rid of Eichenberg. I
Okay,
won't stand for it.
You can say that, or
Hmm?
play him at one damn position.
He has this year. He still sucks.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you, the last time I had a big hug like that was the last time I saw Mama, because that dude hugs everybody.
So when your
I mean,
mom,
he's
when
like-
your
he's-
mom, when your
look,
mom comes to town,
yes.
you're like,
Listen, look, the first thing he does is put the crab clampers on him. Like, how
No,
is that it seems like the first thing he does is bear hug.
It seems to be the first thing he does on every drive is anger somebody because he's always getting a personal foul drawn on somebody. Now it got offset this last time around,
Offset.
but and then it's hugs McGee,
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure the Texans line was like,
So it's like he is always like, you know what rule number one of offensive line is? Hands inside. The first rule. That's the first rule. The first blocking rule. Hands inside. Right? The first thing he does is put crab clinchers on. Like he looks like he's playing. You know, you go to the video place and they have the little game that reaches down and pick up the stuff.
Yeah, the claw.
That's Eichenberg. Like we could just hang Eichenberg from a stick. He grabbed all the toys. Like that's what he does. Just watch Eichenberg. The guy, rule number one of offensive line. Hands inside.
here's Mike McDaniel yesterday speaking to the media.
You know what it is when you sign up for it, and I'm not worried about that in the slightest. I think that would be absolutely selfish and something that I if I'm worried about that, I'm definitely not worried about the things that I have to offer the players that are playing in a professional football game. So, I think the season hasn't gone the way anybody necessarily had wanted, but that, how often do we say that in life in general? I think my job is not to predict and expect. My job is to adjust and ultimately, if you're gonna fall short in certain ways, then what you do is you make those reasons for improvement as you move forward. But we have enough to worry about with the San Francisco 49ers, and I don't take that lightly.
Well, I believe him. I don't think he's too worried about it. He hides it well.
I mean, you're worried about being successful.
Seats getting hot.
But when it comes to the money part of it,
It's getting hot.
when they say you're worried about keeping your job, when you sign that extension, and it's for 3 more years at however many dollars, that's guaranteed money for them.
It's got to be easy.
So like what he's saying is 100% accurate, but it's made easier by the fact that his contract is guaranteed.
Well, that seat's getting hot, though. You got
I
it.
don't think it's getting hot.
It's not getting
It's
hot.
a little bit hot there.
Wait,
Yeah.
we just had a conversation about patience,
Win a big game.
right? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
When was the last time Dolphins won a big game?
When Brian Flores was a coach.
That's not
What? No, when? Go back.
I was hoping you guys remember.
Ravens comeback.
Oh, remember
Was that
that?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Oof,
So that was a big game.
Yeah. That was the
Okay.
best game of my life.
So
that was a good game.
so the fact that he can't win a big game is not true.
I mean,
Here's-
2 years?
I've said this to you. I've said
gotten a hot take right
I've said this to
since
you.
then.
We'd agree though. That was the
I've
greatest
said
game
this
of
to
your
you,
life.
and I think
Mm.
it's time for everybody to come to the realization of what this is.
Mhm.
right.
Is that the biggest win? of the
If
tenure?
you beat 15 teams below you
Mhm.
and lose to the 15 teams above you,
Yeah, middle of the pack.
that makes you the 16th best and the 16th worst team. Okay. When you say
What?
the Dolphins don't beat any of these upper echelon teams,
Mhm.
right? But they beat all the teams beneath them, right? In effect, you're saying that they're not there yet.
It actually stopped
Mm.
this game. It was San Francisco, the first McDaniel year, 2022.
Yeah.
Remember, they went and stayed on the West Coast.
Yep.
Dolphins were riding high. They were 8-3,
Oh, yeah.
right? They go out to the West Coast. Haven't been the same.
Have not been the same since then.
Haven't been. They lost that game.
Oh, dude.
All right. They lost the Chargers game.
Yep.
Smoked in Buffalo.
Look at that.
Well, it smoked in Buffalo. Like it was they come up short in Buffalo.
Yep.
Tua ruined Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Though then we learned he was concussed.
Eh.
Then Tua was done for the season.
Yeah, well, then.
Hasn't been the same since the last Niners game. In fact, it hasn't been the same
Uh-huh.
since Tua threw that touchdown to Trent Sherfield to open up that game.
Oh.
And that was a time. I don't think the Dolphin fan has ever felt more alive than that touchdown to Trent Sherfield Tua threw to him
So look at that.
to open up the scoring against the San Francisco 49ers. but it hasn't been the same.
So you mean to tell me that seat isn't getting warm after you just revealed all that?
I don't think it's getting warm. You know what I think is getting
How is it
warm?
not getting
Here's what I think
warm?
is getting warm. This is my prediction.
Yeah.
I think Mike McDaniel, the coach,
Yeah.
no toast on those cheeks.
Okay.
Mike McDaniel, the play caller,
You have said this.
Wait,
he's getting fired.
but if it's his
Fired.
offense, why would you have
Whoa!
somebody else calling the plays?
I'll tell you why, Leroy. Can I
Oh.
tell you why?
Yeah.
This is and
This
maybe
is-
no. Can I just hear me? Can you just hear what I say
Sure.
and then call
Alright.
me an idiot? Look at me.
Jeez.
Here's what I think.
Okay.
Is it possible
Hmm.
he just talks too long in these play calls?
He talks.
He's
really
just
long.
Why?
You told me to wait to hear what you had to say.
You don't
before I
know.
called you an idiot.
What if he takes too long calling in these plays?
The plays are wordy. I
yeah.
played an offense with wordy plays.
What if we we don't need somebody to change the plays? We just make them less wordy. Codes. Ooh.
Have you ever been in the huddle?
Well, I have been, but I
You-
was on defense and special teams.
You under like it's. They're not just in there talking. They all
Oh, they're
mean
talking.
something.
Right, but
BSB.
you would agree it's taking too long.
It's not taking too long to call a play.
What's the abbreviated
It's taking
version?
too long to get the crap in for them to make decisions
Why
on
is it
what to
taking
do.
so long?
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
process.
Is it possible he talks too long?
No,
Is it possible? Not is that happening? Is it possible?
but what is what possible?
Oh, you heard me. Don't do my move. Oh, you do my move.
I didn't hear you. No,
I
no,
think you think I stumbled onto something here.
no. What? Go.
Do you
Wordy.
think Mike McDaniel talks too long? It's just he's not an efficient user of words or plays. Ergo, it's taking too long to get the play in because he's a long talker.
Here. Here's what I would try.
I need an auctioneer.
Here's
to
what
talk.
I'm trying to avoid.
We got
Okay.
3 wide receivers right now. We got 2 wide receivers, one running back, one going on motion, and on break.
You had a lot more engine than that guy at the Tyreek thing.
Yeah, exactly. That guy is
No.
the Mike McDaniel of auctioneers.
Wait. So here,
Did he cry?
yes.
Soft.
So here's what I would say.
I love you, Dad.
Stop trying to find reasons as to why things are the way they were, because when things were going well, we didn't have these problems.
But we've
But
always
it's the same issues.
we've always had formation things and that. Like he just looks like he's taking his sweet ass time on that sidelines.
He really does.
You know,
He really does.
I'm just like if we could just make it Daryl Bevel. I don't care. I'm not even saying make a hire from outside. Just but somebody's a little bit quicker with words.
But it's not their offense.
Everybody has a piece of the pie now. We're all here.
That's a good point.
All right.
And fire that special teams coach.
Oh, get out of here, Crossman.
Why? Because the kicker can't kick?
No,
What
there's
is-
been too many things.
Oh, dude,
Come
they
on,
have
too
more
many things.
penalties on special teams than anybody. They're the worst special teams unit in the league.
Well, they're highly. They got to be ranked pretty low as far as
I think
penalties in general.
I think they've been ranked the lowest in special teams the last 3 years.
Look
No,
at
but I'm saying
Look-
as
Oh,
far as
yeah.
penalties,
I'll
that
look that up.
it has to go the highest or the highest is the penalties
I'll
per
look
game.
I'll look at the most penalized teams in the league and see where they're at.
Yeah, or I guarantee you're the top 10. It seems like every time I blink my eyes, somebody doing something they ain't got no business doing, including that's not the 2 or 3 penalties you're gonna get from the crab.
Jeez.
He's like the guy from the House of Dragons, the crab guy. The guy was the worst villain of all time.
They
were like,
died so quickly.
The crab guy has taken over for 4 years, and then like they eliminate him with one dragon.
Very easy.
Right. They just went and look barbecue crab. That's it. They talk about the crab guy like nobody wants to deal with the crab guy. There we go. Crab guy done. Like
Take a break. We'll mix things up coming up next.